Hi children, welcome to Science Online class. I hope you're all fine. Children, in today's session, we are going to continue the revision. So we are going to revise the rest of the three chapters. What are they? Your chapter 3, adaptation in animals, and chapter 4, reproduction in plants, and chapter 5, human body. Shall we revise all the three chapters, children? Yes. So children, what is adaptation? So adaptation is nothing but the characteristics that helps a living thing to survive successfully in its environment is said to be adaptation. So based upon adaptations, animals are classified as terrestrial animals, aquatic animals and aerial animals. So under terrestrial animals, we have different types of animals. Let's see first desert animals. So animals living in this region must possess some certain characteristics in order to survive in desert region. So how is the desert region? Hot during day and cold at night. So very dry and there will be scarce of water. So animal faces many challenges which are in desert regions. So they must defend themselves from this extreme cold climatic condition. So next, so children, let us see one of the example of desert animal, camel. So camel is the most common animal in the desert. They have adapted well to the desert condition because camels have special eyelids, nostrils, and they can store water in their body tissue. They have wide and padded feet and also thick lips. They have special eyelids in order to prevent the sand entering into the eyes. They have a nostril that can close to prevent the sand entering into the nose, and also camel can store in their water in their body tissue because it can use it where it is needed. So desert is a place where there is scarce water. So camel can store water and also can store fat in their hump. Camel have wide and padded feet that helps them walk on the sand easily without sinking into it. They also have a thick lips so that they can eat the prickly desert plants without feeling the pain. Now animals living in tundra taiga region. Example, polar bears. So polar bears living in that cold region must possess some special features. So polar bears have white fur which helps them to blend well in the snow, and also it has a layer of fat under its skin which keep it stay warm, and also they have large paws that helps the polar bear to walk in the snow. So children, musk ox has a two layer of fur. One it is long fur and short fur. This long fur helps the musk ox to be protected from the wind, and also the short fur helps them keep warm. They also have a hard hooves. This hard hooves helps them to break the ice and drink the water underneath. So hooves are the hard part of the feet. Next is snowy owl. They have white feather and also have a dense layer of body feather which keeps them warm. This snowy owl will be active during the day. Penguins. So penguins have streamlined body, webbed feet, wings are modified as a flippers. They also have a thick skin under the layer of fat. Also there in the skin that is said to be blubber. So penguins also have heavy and solid bones. Fish. So fish has a boat shaped body. They use their fins to swim, and also they use their tails to change the direction. They can breathe under the water. They can breathe oxygen dissolved in the water through gills. Like aquatic organisms like whales and dolphins also has a blowhole which helps them to inhale the air from the surface above the water. Amphibians. So amphibians are the creature that can live both on land and water. Example, frogs. They have webbed feet, moist skin and lungs. So moist skin is used to breathe underwater and lungs is used to breathe in the land. Crocodiles also cannot breathe under water, but they can hold the breath for an hour. Turtles, they have a fin-like organ called paddles, which is helpful for them to swim in water. Next comes water birds. These birds also have some special adaptation to live near the water region. So aquatic birds such as duck, pelican and many have webbed feet that help them swim. Pelican have a special kind of a bill which can expand to hold a large amount of fish. So bill is nothing but the hard pointed or a curved outer part of the bird's mouth, which is helpful in holding large amount of fish. Next is wading bird. Like cranes and herons have long legs and broad feet which helps them walk through marshy land. So aerial animals. So aerial animals that fly in air. So they have a light body, streamlined body, and their bones are hollow in order to fly in the air. The birds have three kinds of feathers: flight feathers, tail feathers and down feather. Flight feathers on the wings helps them to fly. Tail feathers helps them to change the flying direction. Down feather keeps them warm. Next is camouflage. So camouflage cannot be easily seen by their predators. Animals which cannot be easily seen by the predator or said camouflage. So adaptation that animals use it is to avoid the predators. Examples: stick insect, chameleon are the few examples of camouflage. Children, your chapter 4 is reproduction in plants. So what is reproduction? Reproduction is the process by which a living things produce a new organism of their own kind. It is said to be reproduction. So plants reproduce by two methods: through seeds and through different parts such as stem, roots and leaves. But the most common method is through seeds. The three main parts of seed is seed coat, embryo and endosperm. So seed is a small hard structure present inside fruit. The seeds inside the fruit get dispersed and grow into a new plant by a process called germination. So seed coat is used to cover the outer part of the seed. This seed coat protects the embryo from drying. Inside the seed is an embryo which is a tiny plant. Endosperm supplies food to embryo. So dispersal of seeds happens with the help of many various means. So children, if the seeds of the plant just fall onto the ground under the same parent plant, they will not get enough food, sunlight or nutrient. So they have to be dispersed. Dispersal means to spread or to scatter. The process by which seeds are spread away from the parent plant to a new place is called dispersal of seed. So this dispersal of seed happens by different means. They are by wind, water, animals and human being, and through explosion. So in wind, dispersal by wind depends on the type of seed and where it grows. So seed dispersed by wind are lightweight and many have wing-like structure. Example: sycamore. Seeds which have wing-like structure, it can rotate in the air and can travel to different locations. Dispersal by wind. Here coconut is one of the example of dispersal by water. The coconut grows well along the coastal areas and they have a fibrous spot called coir. So between the hard shell, which helps them to float in the water. Next is animals and human beings. So seeds are dispersed through humans and also animals through their droppings, or else they get attached to the furs of animals or the feathers of birds or clothes of animals. Likewise, they are dispersed to various places. And next is explosion. Examples like pea and bean. Bean plants have pod-like structure that explodes when it ripe and shoot out the seed to different places. So now process of germination. So children, in this process of germination we have four main parts: epicotyle, hypocotyle, radical and cotyledon. So epicotyle is the first leaf of the plant. Hypocotyle is the stem of the plant. Radical is the first root of the plant, and cotyledon is the inner protective layer of the seed which helps the seed to grow well and stores food for the seed. So the process of germination begins when the seed falls onto the ground and when it is covered with the soil. So under favorable environmental condition, the seed starts to grow. Then root holds the soil and starts to absorb the food, and the next part of the seed that appear is hypocotyl. So hypocotyl continues to grow upward, then epicotyl becomes the first leaf, and the leaf, when the leaf starts to prepare its food, the cotyledon falls from the leaf. So this is how the process of germination takes place. Children, even reproduction takes place without seeds. That is said to be vegetative propagation. So vegetative propagation is the method of growing new plant from the parts such as stem, roots, leaves of old plant. Children, now let's discuss the fifth chapter, human body. So in this human body we discussed various systems mainly skeletal system, and what did we discuss? Muscular system, nervous system, and care of sense organs. So skeletal system, it gives the framework of bones. It is composed of 260 bones in the adult human body. Bones gives body structure and movement and helps to store calcium and many minerals in it. The bone marrow, which is present in the bone, produces the blood cell and stores fat. So the different parts of the skeletal systems are skull, backbone or spine, limbs, rib cage, girdles and joints. So let's see what is skull. So skull is the upper part of your head. So this skull is made up of 8 cranial bones and 14 facial bones. This skull gives shape to our head and face. It holds and protects our brain and other facial features like eyes, nose and ears. So skull can be divided into two main parts, cranium and mandible. Cranium is the largest part of the skull and mandible is the lower jaw. Next we learnt about spine or backbone. So spine, we have 26 bones, children. So these 26 bones together called vertebrae. There are small disc made of cartilage. As I already told you, cartilage is the connective tissue. They connect each vertebra. So they acts like a shock absorber and also stops the bone from rubbing each other. So there is a hole in between these vertebra, which is said to be the spinal cord, where the message is passed through this spinal cord. So children, next comes rib cage. So rib cage are the thin, flat, curved bones that forms a protective cage in the upper part of your body. So this rib cage is made up of 24 bones arranged in 12 pairs. The first 7 pairs are directly joined to the sternum, so they are called as true ribs. The next 3 pairs below them joins each other and then joins the sternum. That is why they are called as false rib. The last 2 ribs, they don't join to the sternum, so they are called as floating ribs. The main function of this rib cage is to protect the heart and lungs. They protect stomach, spleen and kidney, and also they support breathing. So children, next comes limbs. In human body, the upper limbs are commonly called as arms and lower limbs are called legs. So in upper legs, what are the bones are present? Humerus, radius and ulna. So in the lower limbs, in the legs we have femur, tibia and fibula. Next is joints. So joints is a place where one bone meets the another bone. So the joints are major part of the skeletal system. So some of the important joints are hinge joints, pivot joint, ball and socket joint and gliding joint. So hinge joint allows movement in one direction. Pivot joint, our head moves from side to side because of pivot joint. It rests on pivot joint on the top of our spine. Ball and socket joint allows many movements, greater freedom of movements. Gliding joint, it is the simplest joint. They allow sliding movement. So children, next we discussed about muscular system. So muscular system comprises of muscle that controls the movement of all the part of our body. So most of the muscles are attached to the bones with tendons. So tendons is a one kind of connective tissue. So children, there are over 600 muscles in our body. These muscles are found under the skin and also covers the skeleton. There are two different types of muscles. One it is voluntary muscles and another one is involuntary muscles. Children, what is involuntary muscles? Involuntary muscles are muscles that do not need the brain to send the messages. They know their job and they keep on doing it. For example, muscles in our heart and also muscles in our digestive system. Voluntary muscles are the muscles that we can control. If we want to run, walk or move our hands, voluntary muscles can control the action, but they cannot move on unless our brain sends the message to the right muscle to contract or relax. Next we learnt about nervous system. So nervous system is made up of brain, spinal cord and large network of nerves. So it covers all the part of the body. The nervous system helps different part of our body to communicate. The brain and spinal cord forms the central nervous system. The nerves all together forms the peripheral nervous system. So children, there are three important parts in the brain: cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Look at the picture. So cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. Cerebrum is at the back of the brain and below cerebrum. Medulla oblongata is the smallest and most important part of the brain. What is the function of cerebrum, children? It is the thinking part of the brain. It helps to think, read, speak and learn. So cerebrum, it is very important part of the brain. It controls all the balance movement and also coordinates the muscles together. Medulla oblongata, it controls the involuntary actions like heartbeat, regulating the blood pressure and also breathing. So next we discussed about nerves. So nerves belongs to the nervous system. It is a complex structure. It transmits a signal around the body to coordinate the actions. The three main types of nerves are motor nerves, sensory nerves and mixed nerves. So motor nerves carries messages from brain to muscles. Sensory nerves carry messages from sense organ to brain. Mixed nerve works like a two-way system. They carry the message to and from the brain. So children, now let's discuss the question paper pattern. So in the first revision video, I have discussed the first 4 Roman letters of your question paper pattern. Now let's discuss the rest of the 5 Roman letters of the question paper pattern. So now first Roman letter is choose the correct answer. Second is fill up. Third Roman letter is match the following. Fourth Roman letter is say true or false and give reason. Now let's discuss the fifth Roman letter. Answer the following in short. So first question, what are the 3 main parts of the seed, children? The 3 main parts of the seed are seed coat, embryo and endosperm. Second question, name the parts of the nervous system. The parts of the nervous system are brain, spinal cord and nerves. Now third question, how are birds adapted to flying? So birds have light streamlined bodies and hollow bones that help them to fly in air. They also have 3 kinds of feathers: flight feather, tail feather and down feather. This flight feathers on the wings helps them to fly. Tail feathers helps them to change the flying direction. The soft feathers, down feathers keep them warm. Now fourth question, what is meant by vegetative propagation? Vegetative propagation is the method by which new plants grow from the plant's part, such as stems, roots, leaves of an old plant. This method of reproduction can be found in sweet potatoes, onion, bananas, potatoes, rose plant and sugarcane. Now sixth Roman letter, answer the following question in brief. How does wind helps in dispersal of seeds? Give example. So children, wind is the one of the main agent of seed dispersal. Seed dispersal by wind mainly depends on the type of the seed and also where it grows. So seeds that are dispersed by the wind are lightweight and may have wing-like structure. So seeds of the cotton and dandelion are the light and have fluffy hair. They are blown away by the wind and carried to distinct places. And also sycamore seeds that have wing-like structure that can rotate in air and can travel to distant location. Now second question, what are the benefits of exercise? So children, exercise is the one of the most important thing that we can do for our health. So exercise benefits every part of the body including the mind. Exercising can help us to lead a healthy life. Exercise helps people to lower the risk of some diseases. Now third question, write the function of any three types of joint found in the skeletal system. So children, in the skeletal system we have different joints. They are hinge joint, pivot joint, ball and socket joint and gliding joint. So these are the important movable joint. So hinge joint, they allows movement in one direction. They are seen in the knees and fingers and elbows. Pivot joint, our head moves from side to side because it rests on pivot joint at the top of our spine. Similarly, we can rotate our hand over by flipping or wristing. Next comes ball and socket joint. This joint allows greater freedom of movement. The hips, shoulders have this type of joint in which round end of a long bone fits into a hollow of another bone. Next is gliding joint. These joints are the one of the simplest kind of joint. They allow sliding movement. When two pieces of bones comes together, they are gliding joint on our backbone where the ribs meets the vertebrae. They allow movement in two direction. Wrist and ankle are the example for gliding joint. So next question is, how polar bears adapt to live in cold region? So children, how polar bear adapt to live in cold region? Yes, polar bears has white fur which helps it to blend into the snow and ice. They also have a layer of fat under their skin which helps it to stay warm. They also have wide and large paws, helps the bear to walk in the snow. So children, your seventh Roman letter is differentiate the following. So you can write the answer by your own if you know the concept. So first question is dispersal by water and dispersal by animals and human beings. How seeds are dispersed? Seeds are dispersed by water, human beings wind. So dispersal by water, how it is dispersed? So the means of dispersal of seed is water. The means of dispersal of seed is through animals and human beings through their droppings, and also hook like structure which get attached to the furs of animals and feathers of birds or clothes of human beings. So example here coconut, here you can write many examples like mangoes, uh, like that you can write children. Next comes ball and socket joint and also pivot joint. So ball and socket joint allows greater freedom of movement, whereas pivot joint allows movement from side to side. The hip and shoulders have this type of joint, whereas here our wrist has this type of joint. So children, next Roman letter is identify the picture and label the parts. So what you have to do, so a picture will be given, so you have to identify the picture. What the picture is you have to mention. For example, ankle or ball and socket joint. The picture may be like ball and socket joint, or knee picture, or muscular system picture, or a germination of seed picture, like that it may be given. So you have to identify the picture, you have to write the name of the picture, and also you have to label the parts. So you may be labeling the parts for the given pictures. So diagrams, the name of the diagram will be given, so you have to draw the diagram and also mention the part of it. That's it for today's session children. I thank you. I hope you understood all the revision, question and answer and the concept. Thank you.